Hey guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and welcome to Advanced Rate Blues Guitar Riffs. What are we talking about today? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy with a free member account, or in order to get the downloads coming with the tutorials with a premium member account. So, what are we talking about today? I'll show you. If you have done the basic straight blues guitar riffs, then you probably want to know more, get more complex stuff and more moving around the fretboard and more combinations, and that's what we're talking about today. Getting from the very basic stuff, you know, from doing more complex stuff, more articulation stuff with your picking hand, and also adding chords and start moving around and start sounding great. That's the task of today's tutorial, so let's get started. Alright, we are doing this thing here is in a blues in A, because there we have the open string version and also the version anywhere on the fretboard that you can change keys. What A is of course cool because you have the open string stuff. And to highlight the articulation things which we're doing, I have selected the typical 50s or early 60s sound with a with this short analog delay. I really like that, and it's really convenient on this topic today. So, as I said, you need to know the basic techniques of rhythm and palm muting and not palm muting, but for short I'm going to explain. Here you have palm muted and not palm muted, you just move. Or if you switch from palm muted to not palm muted, you make this rotation. See? And together with this analog delay, you have a great effect. So now the main task will be which one shall be muted and which one not. We're taking the first riff here, it goes like this: 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we have the first part is not palm muted. So A5, 1, 2, and now palm muted. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Only the 2 8 notes on the 3 are palm muted, the rest not. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Then we go switch here to the 4th fret, and the one on the 4 end is this kick in the open string. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. See? 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And now, since we are in the advanced mode, we make a 2-bar pattern. So that was the first bar. And the second bar, we also palm mute the first 2 of the first. So it goes like this: 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. So there we have another figure on beat 1. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That's how the 2-bar pattern works. And then you just, if you want to move it to D or E, and see, with this 2-bar pattern you start to sound really cool and great and sophisticated. But it's good to know how you can make slight variations, that you're sticking to the line of a theme, but only make slight variations that you don't go too much away from the theme. Okay, we can do the same thing up here, and we do Same thing here, just here on the A5. Should not be a problem. On D it will be here. And now comes the problem when you have a 2-bar thing. In a spot where we have 2 chords in 2 bars, then we make like this. We just split it between the chords and then we go for it. I'm gonna show you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty easy, sounds cool, sounds already really sophisticated and professional. You can also make a variation on that when you make the anticipation on the 4 end. That will be like this. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Instead of making the open string, you make the anticipation on the 4 ends. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. It's also cool. That would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. Variation. You can play the first thing maybe in the first 2 chorus, and when you go like on a, inside the song, you level up the intensity, then you also change to a variation, which is quite cool. Now let's check out a second riff. Now we're making little single note lines. It's a little bit from, the old 60s Batman theme. Batman. Probably some of you might remember the Batman theme. It's a little bit from that, but it's typical straight blues guitar riff. So we have here the chord, then we make here 3, 4. And then we make this typical rockabilly thing. We just turn it around here, 5, 4, 2, 4. So this will be like this here, or if you make it here, it's a bit more complicated from the fingering. It's easier when you take it here, the 3, 4, so you jump here. And then, or you can slide up. Yeah, slide up is probably better because then you're in position for the resolution. Same thing in green, but in other position. Sounds a bit more bassy than here. You can choose whatever you want, and then you just move it around in the key. I show you. Like this, or in the other position. Same thing here, okay? Now you can make a variation of this. the first part can stay the same. We just make another resolution here. Something else also works, or in this position. And here I would recommend you to do a slide. It's also cool. Yeah, you can do the slide or with the normal finger, it's up to you. Good. Now let's do something with chords. So we do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We make the normal A5 here. 1 and then we go to the A5 here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So palm muted bass, or you can also without palm muted, it's up to you. When we don't go to D in open string, it's a little bit different. Same here, but the chord is here 5/7, and the E is like this. Let's do that. And so on. If you do it in the upper position, the chords are a bit different. You take this for A. Here 5, 5, 6. This for D. 5, 4, 5. And for the E the same. But the technique is the same. Optional, you can take the open E string as if you like that one more. Good. That's also cool. Now let's do a combination of all this. Something like this. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can, if you want to do a variation on the chords here, these ones here, you can switch from A7 to A13 with the pinky here in the 7. So from the D7 to D9, you just flatten your ring finger, and the same in E. So let's check this out. You can also switch between the chords. And so on. Good. Now we make a combination of what we learned here now. We make something like this. So this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go to A13. We make 1, 2 and 3, 4. So first on 1, second on 2, and the most common riff ever. So let's see how that works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yo guys, that was advanced straight blues guitar riffs, and together with the basic straight blues guitar riffs, you have quite a repertoire of riffs. You really need to work them out, you know, on the hard way, like really strip them out to every single piece and have it as precise as possible, because that's the foundation for the whole thing. And I know many of you players out there would love to have the combination out of chords and soloing. And that only works, honestly, if your foundation is firm and solid. And that's why this stuff here, even maybe for some players out there, it's a bit boring, because, you know, it's, I mean, I can do cooler stuff, you know, but this is foundation work. When your foundation is solid, then you still can make variations while you play, because you have the foundation which gives you the security of everything, that you can really work on the stuff. I mean, I'm teaching now quite a few gray hair, 30 years now, and I can tell by now, if you don't have your foundation, you really have difficulties on making really proper and sophisticated stuff in combination with other stuff. That's why this stuff here is also a must-have here. And if you miss the basic straight blues guitar riffs, check them out first, even if you're an advanced player, then do this. And then once I did that myself, I was already finished with my university studies, and through teaching I went back to the very basics, and I noticed I could not play the basics in a firm and proper manner. I always thought the stuff is too easy. I can play fast. Why do I need to play just one note properly? That's the key, guys. I paid a hard price for that. Took me an extra tour of 3 years to read you all the basics. And honestly, I would hope that my students don't have to do the detour, but maybe that's part of the experience. I don't know. And this stuff, even if it's too symptomatic and too straight away, it's not boring. It's really needed if you want to have a solid foundation. Yeah. If you want to download the tabs, which I really recommend, because there you see how solid your foundation has to be. It's available in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. Plus this backing track, there you also find the basic straight blues guitar riffs, which is really important if you missed that one. And then you can really work that stuff out, and then you're ready to go for the next step, you know, combinations and stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff. Yo, me and Dr. Pink are saying goodbye for today, and I'm gonna play a little bit for you guys as a goodbye. 1, 2, 3.